Yo, what's good, y'all? Shema, boy, I ain't gotta say no names. It's your boy Bubba, and this is Random Thoughts. I haven't did a Random Thoughts episode in a long ass time, but I want to talk about something right quick. So this is actually going to be a podcast later, but I want to talk to you about it because it's going to be a two-part, and I don't know how some people are going to take this shit. So bear with me. So over the years, what I've seen on social media is not all, but several black gay men who will talk about, people who participate in the queer community, I should say, will talk about how, how they don't feel welcome. They talk about racism in the bear community. They talk about, you know, exclusion, all these things, right? And I'm not saying that none of that shit's real because it's all real. And there is a lot of racism within the bear community, also just in the gay community in general. It's there. Like, it's hard not to say that it's not there. It actually is there, right? But I got a little bone to pick, a little bone. But let me make it clear, because I know how some of y'all just like to close y'all ears and just hear my mouth moving and then start to yelling at me, right? I want y'all to comprehend. I understand that there is racism in the bear community. There is literally discrimination, being fetishized, exclusion, uh, ostracized almost. All these things. I 100% agree that these things do happen within this community, and I do believe that it should be called out. And there's nothing wrong with calling it out. I think call it out when you see it, live, behind the scenes, all that. Call it out, right? But here's my issue with this. The question that comes to my mind oftentimes, because I see it so much on the internet, it's like, where are and who are the people that are going to make these spaces now that we have a problem? If there are other black bears out there, why are and when are we going to make the spaces to have that? And I'm not talking about, because I know that there are people out there who do it, like the Big Boy Prides. There's a event in LA. I forgot the name of it, but there are black bears who put on events. So I'm not saying that they don't. But the issue that I see so much is that I feel like there's a lot of black bears who just sit on the internet and complain, and it's more about proximity to whiteness than wanting to find community. Because oftentimes I sit back and I'm like, why are these people putting so much energy behind it? Why are you putting so much energy behind not being able to hang out and be clicked up with certain bears in the community? Like, why? Why are we holding so much, reserving so much emotional frustration towards these people? Like, and I get it. Some people are lone wolves in this shit. Some people don't have a tribe and don't have friends, and I get it. Making gay friends is hard as hell, you know what I'm saying? It really is. But, like, it always makes me wonder about, is it really that, or do you just you see value in approval of white folks? Like, if a white man validates you, that means the world to you. And I mean, I really do see it a lot, like a lot on social media. Especially coming out, I understood what it felt like. And I can agree, especially someone who lives in the Pacific Northwest, Portland, Oregon exact. It kind of can be hard. I've often been a token black guy in the room. I've dealt with the fetishization of me as a black man. I've dealt with the exclusion based on me being a black guy. I've watched people, you know, I've watched how people kind of change their attitude towards me once I started getting muscles and shit. I've noticed, you know, a lot of the proximity of having a daddy who was white and a muscle bear at that, and how people flock to me now. They notice me now because of him. I notice all that, and I understand that it's real. I really do. But again, I still wonder, like, is it really all about exclusion, or is it really about you not being able to get the validation from those white muscle bears who you are attracted to, what validates you. And I think that's the part that some of y'all have to really come to terms with, because, hey, I can tell you right now, I've experienced that and I've dealt with that. And baby, let me tell you, therapy. Therapy. Like, I really think it's worth asking the question of, like, why does that hold so much emotional, you know, frustration? You know, is is the rejection from this community hurt more than just being rejected in general from anybody? Like, like, you really have to dig deep in, like, I'm talking about go beyond the surface of no one really likes black guys, but really, like, dig deep into your own attractions and dig deep into, like, who you're attracted to and what your attention is. Are you trying to find community, or are you just trying to find somebody to have sex with you? Because I'm telling you, there is a difference. There literally is a difference, because I think for me, when I start realizing, like, I'm just looking for community, I'm looking for friends and doing that versus just trying to have sex with people, the AKA the gay handshake, which I'm going to talk about later on in this season. I got hella podcast topics to talk about. You start to find yourself, like, not finding friends because all you're doing is trying to have sex, and you're not actually trying to build community. And I think that's a big issue with a lot of, gay men, is when they find something attractive, it's like, oh, I want to have sex with that, so again, you have to really, like, dig deep into, like, your intentions, because everybody not gonna be attracted to you, bro. Like, I had to deal with that shit too. Like, shit, some people don't like that I got big nipples and man boobies, even though I lost 91 pounds. Like, I got some muscles, but they don't like all that part. There's some people who want to suck my motherfucking titties until they come off. And, it is what it is, right? But that it is what it is, and you can't necessarily be mad about that. And granted, I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm a fucking saint. Of course, I'm looking for sex too. Of course, I'm looking for, who I want to hook up with and be attracted, and who I'm attracted to when I go to the bars. Of course, that's just, it is what it is, and at the end of the day, you can't help your attraction. So I'm not trying to scapegoat that, because I know how y'all only think I like white men. Because I know somebody in the comments gonna say, somebody in the comments gonna think they pulling down the curtains off me and being like, oh, you only like white men, but which is not true. But I think it really does just come down to the question of, like, again, why are we spending so much energy on this shit when we could be spending energy on making black bare spaces? We can spend time on making black bare social groups, just a lot of different things that we could be working towards versus complaining about why we don't fit in white people's spaces. I often hear people talk about, like, going to, like, the big dance parties here, like, oh, they don't play this type of music. They don't play. It's a fucking circuit party. They gonna play boom camp all night anyways. They not trying to play motherfucking No Hands by Wale or by Waka Flocka and Wale. No, they're not playing twerking music. No, they're not playing Ice Spice. If they do play Ice Spice, it's gonna be the techno or the house version of it. It's gonna be some boom camp, or some pots and pans music. You just might as well just get used to that when you go to the gay clubs. That's just what it is. But I think we, as a community of people, have the ability to change that. And the question is, do we want to change it because, we feel like there's no space for us, or do we want to just keep it that way and complain about not being attracted to by white guys? Because I think that's more so of what, not all black gay men that participate in the bear community, but there's a good handful of them who get on the internet and they complain all day about racism in the bear community. And it's really boils down to the fact that the white guy that they really are attracted to, that they really want to have sex with, don't like them. And so now they're on the internet for months on end talking about it. Like, girl, move on to the next one. There's a lot of fucking big white muscle bears and masculine blue collar looking dads on the internet for you to get, okay? Like, chill the fuck out. Anyways, I'm gonna work out. This podcast will be coming out soon. I don't know when, but I'm still working on some of the stuff. I think I might want to get somebody on the show with me. So if that's you, hit me in the DMs and we can brainstorm and do some shit. So I'm over here spitting and shit. Anyways, all right, y'all. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button, and I'll see y'all when I see y'all.